I gotta say, Kyle, not a whole lot to complain about with these forecasts lately, especially considering where we were just a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I mean, last weekend, I was looking back at our forecast for last weekend, and the actual temperatures, we're well into the upper 90s for highs. You know, that front came in, cooled us off, and it's been really nice recently.
I saw 40s on the map a minute ago.
Yeah, quite a few places
We'll
yesterday morning and this morning down in the 40s. One of the nicer days we've had in quite some time yesterday, and if you enjoyed yesterday, today's almost an exact repeat of yesterday as well as we end the weekend here. And by the way, I was also looking back to last year because I had to update our graphics for, you know, the start of the fair. And last year, the start of the fair, the highs were in the 90s. So this year, feeling a lot better outside for the start of the fair. Love Field sitting at 57 degrees, no delays there. Don't expect any delays, at least from the weather locally today. DFW Airport already up to 60 now, with no delays as well. Here were your lows earlier this morning. So sun's been up for almost an hour now, so our temperatures are starting to warm. But yeah, here are the low temperatures from earlier this morning, pretty much identical to what they were yesterday. Some of the cool spots, Denton down to 46 this morning. Granbury, you were all the way down to 45. Eastland beat you down to 44. Canton, Mineola, Greenville all at 46 earlier today. 54 in Fort Worth, 55 in Dallas this morning. Waxahachie, you made the 40s as well. So definitely below normal for this time of the year all over across North Texas because the normal low is 63. Not record cool, at least in DFW. DFW had to get down into the 40s, which did not happen this morning. So here are your current temperatures. Not that much different, but we are starting to warm up just a little bit. And obviously with all the sunshine out there, we will continue to keep warming up throughout the day today. One of the reasons why we were so cool, not only yesterday morning, but this morning as well, as that air is very dry. That means, you know, when you step outside during the afternoon, you don't instantly start sweating. It feels comfortable during the afternoon. Dew points, the true measure of moisture in the air, the lower the dew point, the drier the air. And we got dew points in the 50s, which is kind of off of our muggy meter chart here, which is a good thing. That means it's quite pleasant outside, not only this morning, but this afternoon as well. And here's the good news. Look at this. Dew points stay rather low through the upcoming week, maybe only topping out in the low 50s, which still keeps things pleasant, even though our temperatures are going to warm this week. At least the afternoons will feel nice, and it'll feel like the actual temperature instead of dealing with a heat index. Later on today, it's right around normal, pretty much like what we were yesterday, about 83, 84 across Dallas to Fort Worth. Other places mostly in the low 80s, but there could be a few places that hit about 85, 86 to the west. Not very many of you, though, mostly in the low 80s. Then tomorrow morning, another below normal day, lows well down into the 50s. I wouldn't be surprised to see a couple 40s pop up yet again as you head out the door tomorrow, which means you go outside with the kiddos tomorrow morning, first thing for school. Yeah, jacket, maybe a sweatshirt, just like you've had today and yesterday. Let's check in on the tropics here because Ian's obviously been the notable thing that's happened over the last week. So is anything else headed to the U.S. or any other parts of the kind of Atlantic? Well, not at the moment. There's a system, maybe a 20% chance of developing as it inches closer to the Caribbean. There's another one off the coast of Africa that has a higher chance of developing, but that one, at least not as of now, doesn't look to be a threat to the U.S. As far as Texas is concerned, now that we're in the month of October, hurricanes and tropical systems, pretty rare for Texas as we head into October. Most of them form kind of in the southern Caribbean there or off the east coast and then kind of track up the east coast. That one obviously off the coast of Africa, a little bit of an exception, but it's early October. You know, most of October, the activity kind of from the Caribbean and then up the east coast here. By the way, on record, you know, as long as we've been keeping records, we've only had 6 storms make landfall in Texas during the month of October. And if you think about all the storms that have ever been recorded, that is just a tiny, tiny fraction. So at least as far as, nothing's impossible, but at least as far as Texas is concerned, the tropical season is pretty much over for us. Temperatures climb this week, maybe trying to touch 90 by Wednesday, Thursday. There's our next front. Does not bring us much of a significant cool down, but at least we're back in the low 80s by next weekend for Texas OU. Will not bring us any rain. As far as rain is concerned, it's kind of at the end of that 10-day forecast there. Maybe bringing a few showers and storms back into the area.